What is going on, guys? Viruz here, and today, as you can read in the title, I will talk a bit about the reveal of Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered and what it needs to be a worthy follower from my point of view. However, for those guys who are new here, I'm one of the 3 leaders of the 6P clan, which was formed in 2009. The main game we always played was Call of Duty 4, and a lot of us still play it today. So at first I will tell you about what I think CoD4 Remastered needs to be a good remake, and then I will talk a bit about what already is officially confirmed by Activision. In the background you see the reveal trailer of Call of Duty 4 Remastered, which will just come in combination with the new Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. However, there are a lot of points which the Remastered Edition needs to fulfill from my point of view in order to get a good and worthy remake of the original game. So the first thing we will talk about is the weapon balance. CoD 4, from my point of view, was the last game with a good balance between assault rifles, SMGs and scopes. In comparison, the games afterwards, like Modern Warfare 2, added weapons like the G18 Akimbo, which was very overpowered and they didn't patch it in the whole running of the game. And even added in Modern Warfare 3 the FMG Akimbo, which was even more overpowered. Also in Modern Warfare 2, the UMP was a very common weapon because it was good at any range. You could easily kill M4s and AKs at long ranges with 2 shots or 3 shots, and I think they should just keep the weapon attributes. If they change it, I see a high chance that they will fail it. The next point is the originality of the maps. So I don't want them to add any graphic updates such as particles, sun flares, extreme reflections, papers flying around, plants growing up the trees and stuff like this, because you don't see the enemies that easily with all this stuff. A good example for this is the map Crash in Modern Warfare 2. They added a lot of particles and plants and stuff in the map, which really changed the experience of the map, because you can get easily distracted by these things and it will be way harder to see the enemies in all the particles floating around. Another game where you can see simple map design like in Call of Duty 4, or even more simple, is Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which is also a fact why it's a good competitive game. This leads us into the next section, which is the movement system and the removal of bugs which are there in the original Call of Duty. The magical word here is Strafe Jumping. It's a bug. It's a technique where you can jump in a little curve and you get around 1.5 times that far as you would get with a normal jump while sprinting. If they remove Strafe Jumping, this will be a game-changing aspect and it won't be a good remake of Call of Duty 4 from my point of view if there is no Strafe Jumping in it, or less good Strafe Jumping in it. A good example for this is Crash Palettes, where you can strafe up and get a new way into A side. And also of course the rush routes would be way slower and on any map. About 2 to 5 seconds depending on how far the bomb spot is away. So I think it's very highly needed that they will keep the same strafing in the game. The next thing they shouldn't remove is bouncing, which is also a big part of the originality of the maps and the movement system at all. A good example for this, I guess every one of you guys know it, is the Crash helicopter bounce, where you can bounce off the helicopter and land on a new roof, or also on backlot you can jump on this red car and directly into mid-house. And if they change all these things, this will definitely influence the experience of the players. Another bug which they shouldn't touch is the fast switch, where you can weapon switch twice to cancel your reload animation or decrease the reload time at all. Also, you could increase the fire rate with sniper rifles with this fast switch. They fixed this in Black Ops 1, I guess. And they also fixed with it that you can't shoot while you are still pulling out your weapon, and that you can't aim in while you are still pulling out your weapon. And this is a really important thing from my point of view, which they shouldn't change in the remaster edition. Another needed thing are the dedicated servers which you can host on your own root and not pay Activision for hosting them for you, because in this way it will get very expensive, like it got with Black Ops 1 also, I guess. So it's possible for every little clan to host multiple servers with different mods and stuff like this. This leads us to the most important point from my point of view, which are the mod tools and the map tools, because this will give the players the opportunity to change the game when Activision fails it, which was the same case in Call of Duty 4. The game as it is, as a stock game without mods, wasn't that good, but the mods were what it made good. They made it possible for competitive play with Pro Mod Live, for casuals with Death Run, Kill the King, for Strafe Jumpers with CoDJumpers, and I guess there are a lot of good other mods out there which are made by the community. Then we definitely need an accessible console. This will give the players an opportunity to change the game in a lot of aspects, like for pro players they can change graphics settings and brightness which aren't in the graphics options menu, or the exact sensitivity. As you know, Call of Duty 4 got this inaccurate ruler where there isn't a number, and through the console you can change it to an exact number. Also you can change your field of view with it, or your maximum FPS, which is also important for strafe jumping. And for movie makers, they can use everyday mode command, which made it possible in Call of Duty 4 to record with very high amount of FPS and very high quality without having a good PC. Now we're gonna talk a little bit about the official information which Activision gave us through an FAQ on their website. I will link it down in the description so you can read it on your own. I just try to sum it up for you. There will be the full single player campaign out of the original game. Also there will be a multiplayer featuring 10 multiplayer maps out of the 20 multiplayer maps from the original Call of Duty 4. Crash, Backlot and Crossfire will definitely be in. The other ones will be announced soon. It will be produced by Raven, and it won't be available as a standalone edition, it just will be available as a special edition from Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. I guess this is maybe a little PR move, and maybe they will release it as a standalone after Infinite Warfare has released, because otherwise I think they will make less money. They also confirm that it will have dedicated servers, but they won't confirm that the players can host it on their own, and I guess this won't be the case, which will be very bad for the game. Also, they're talking a little bit about the movement system, that it will stay true to the original game. I don't know if they really know the movement system of the original game, but okay. Also, it will be available for PlayStation 4, Xbox One and PC. So as you can see, there are a lot of points which they can and probably will do wrong. Especially the modding tools. If they are missing, the game won't be good. If the game won't be available as a standalone at any time, maybe after the release, the game won't be a success. Also, I don't really think they know the movement system of the original Call of Duty 4, and even if they say it will stay true to its original, I don't think that it actually will stay true to its original. If they, for example, make a slight change, like you can set your maximum FPS, it won't be the same like Call of Duty 4, because the whole strafing system depends on the maximum FPS. And the fact that they talk about high definition, and from what I saw in the teaser, it's high graphics and it looks way better than Call of Duty 4, which actually makes me think that they probably use another engine, which maybe leads into strafing will be not that highly possible like in Call of Duty 4, which will also make the game a bad game for me. And if you take a close look at the weapon in the first person scene in the trailer, it's a very small scene with night vision, you will see an AK-47, which is actually a different model than in Call of Duty 4, which maybe will lead into bad iron sights, I don't know. I guess they will change all models of all weapons. And maybe if they also would change models like houses, some houses in some maps in Call of Duty 4 are also just models. Maybe some spots won't be possible anymore to reach, and this could also influence the player's experience very much. So all in all, I don't really think that the game will be what the players really want. From my point of view, what the players want is another Call of Duty 4 without senseless high definition and graphic changes, which will be the same game with the same techniques, the same maps, the same gameplay, which will be just re-released to gain a new player base. And also maybe some small changes like an additional matchmaking system besides the dedicated servers with ranks like in Counter-Strike Global Offensive, which will push the competitive scene about the game a little bit. So if you're still here, thank you for watching this whole video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, and if you want more, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Give me your thoughts of the Call of Duty 4 Remastered Edition in the comments down below, and see you in the next video.